Hey guys, welcome to the call. We are excited to have two special people with us, and they're up in the Maryland area. And I'm going to have them real quick introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about them, where they're from, and then we're just going to go into a casual interview. So, guys, take it away, Emily and Mike.
Hey, I'm Emily George.
Now, Mike George.
I'm a respiratory therapist and a college volleyball coach.
And I'm a chef by trade, working with school children in food service.
And we live up near St. Michael's, Maryland, on the Eastern Shore.
Very cool. Is it cold up there?
No, not really.
No?
Our daughter went horse riding in a t-shirt today, so.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. So you guys have been involved with ID Life now for how long?
About 3 years now.
Yeah.
Right? About
Yeah, I
3
think
years.
about 3.
3 years. And how many
Yep.
how many kids you have?
3.
You got 3 kids. Good deal. Well, 4 with Mike, right?
Yes. And the dog. And the
Oh,
dog.
yeah, the dog.
And the dog. So I respect the adult kid in the house too. So I get it. So up in Maryland, what kind of you being a respiratory therapist, you kind of got a good idea of what it's like in modern times as far as what's been going on with us. I did want to talk kind of briefly about your thoughts on like the immune support packs that we offer, just to kind of help. I mean, we're here not to make medical claims, and we don't, diagnose, treat, prevent, or cure anything. We're not saying that. But what we do say is we like to give the body as much help as we can. So as a professional respiratory therapist, what's your ideas of keeping the immune system as strong as possible, the immune packs that we have, and so on?
So actually, in the beginning of the pandemic, we were taking our immunity packs every day. Like, I was really good about taking my vitamins. I'm intubating patients with COVID, like right in their face, open airway. I'm exposed every day at work. And I was not sick at all. I felt like I had superpowers. Like, I'm so healthy, like nothing can touch me.
Right.
And then as COVID continued to go along, I have not been as amazing with my vitamins, and we ended up getting sick. We got COVID in December. And it was like, man, like I haven't been taking my vitamins. I bet you that my body just wasn't really prepped for that. But I mean, I did really well, like going through COVID. Like, I wasn't really as sick. Mike was a little bit more sick, a lot more sick, but with the man cold too, but I felt like I definitely had one up on everybody else when I was taking my immunity packs. Like it was in my vitamins, so it was just
Right.
part of my vitamin pack.
Yeah, the vitamin packs you're talking about are the customized nutrition. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And my immunity was added to that.
Okay.
So that I just took them all together.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I feel like I definitely, I saw that as a benefit, because I was not sick at all. And at that time, we didn't know what protection we needed to have. Like, was an N95 enough? Like, I mean, we didn't know. Every day, like, our protocols were changing in the hospital. So it was like, at that point, like, well, I'm not getting sick, so I'm doing something right.
Right.
So
That's cool. And Mike, you were around the school kids and everything, and just daily grind of dealing in that time frame with that. Were you also slacking on your vitamins too?
In the beginning, no, absolutely not.
Okay.
I tried really hard. I actually was, trying to help other people in the hospital too. I was able to give away 45 of the boxes of ID nutrition, or of the immune support, to nurses and doctors and everything at her hospital. So I was trying to help out the cause with them. But no, I was taking them every day. And I mean, I didn't feel any sickness. I wasn't around as many kids as you think because we had to do the whole virtual school type thing. I was around other people.
But they came and picked up food.
They came and picked up food and all that kind of stuff. But it wasn't as many kids as you thought. But still, I was around people. I still was. I was an emergency personnel also, just like her, because we had to serve food.
Right.
Like throughout the whole thing, I was taking it just every single day. Again, in my pack, I switched from just the immune support, and then I put it into my personalized vitamins. So I did start slacking there probably the last 6 months, maybe the last 6 months. I started slacking on just taking my vitamins regular, all my vitamins regular. And come December 6th, I am down.
Yeah.
COVID. I mean, real bad.
He was down for a while.
I never had a sniffle. I had never had anything the entire pandemic until that time.
Right. Yeah, and I can relate. I mean, I was a plumber during that time. I also did that trip around the country, and I flew I think 6 different times during 2020. So it's real. And the thing that I recognize is that's a virus, and a virus is, you're not bulletproof to a virus. Mm-hmm. That's one thing that I learned through the whole thing. You can still get sick, but it's the stronger the immunity system, the better. And so that's awesome, guys. And thanks for being, transparent on that, because that's important. And I hear it from a lot of people that when they stop taking their nutrition is when they don't feel like a superhero, and but it may take like 3 to 5 days till they figure like, I'm not feeling as good as I was.
Yeah.
Like some people kind of get, what's
put
that?
Our capes back on. We had to put our capes back on.
Yeah, put your capes back on. So I want to kind of move into something that you guys did as parents with your 11-year-old, and it's something that I guess a lot of people see it as an adult thing, and I have mine right here. So this is my my DNA report, and it goes through, it's a 46-page report all about me, but you guys did it for Micah.
Yeah, we did ours, and then we did Micah's. Micah has ADHD. He has anxiety, and he's like always in fight or flight.
ODD.
He borderlines ODD as well. And we were just like at our wits' end. Like we were trying to be as homeopathic as possible. He had been on like every medication in the book, like up to 4 medications at a time. And he was never getting better. He was actually getting worse. Like 2 hours of just like banging on the door, screaming, crying, beet red face, bloodshot eyes, like, help me. It wasn't right. And we were seeing the doctors, like we're doing everything they said to do. And so I talked to the doctors about taking him off. It was during the beginning of the pandemic. They were home anyways with school. So I was like, I'm the one here with him. How do I take him off all these medications and we can start from scratch? Mm-hmm. So we dosed down on everything safely. And he went medication free for 1.5 years. When school started back up in school, we went like about 2 months into the school year of him on only Brilia, which is like a homeopathic thing, for ADHD. And it wasn't enough. And so we knew we were going to have to add back in medication. So we switched doctors around, and we were like, you know what? He's got to be deficient. Let's do his DNA report. So we went ahead and then swabbed him and did his DNA report to see what deficiencies he possibly had.
Right.
So we could add back in like whatever vitamins he was needing and stuff like that. So we did start back with medication, very low doses, and we've been adding in some of the vitamins on the DNA report, and then we're going to start his DNA nutrition when he's 12.
Yep.
And we've seen a major improvement. Like he's doing amazing in school.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes back to giving the body what it's asking for. And that's the trick with the DNA test is it's Micah's genetics.
Yeah.
It's not yours. It's not Mike's. the person's genetics.
Mhm.
And and it's not like it's not a lifelong sentence for it. It's just once you know that they have those markers, then you can adjust and you can go, okay, we know he's deficient in this, we know this is happening, now we can adjust to it. And it's a lifelong manual.
Yeah. And that's what we needed for him. Like, we couldn't just continue on a path of like an unknown adventure. Oh, let's just try this, And so we had also done his genetic swabbing for his medications with the doctor's office prior to taking him off everything. And we were trying what was on that, but it still wasn't enough, like his body needed more. And I'm sure, things will change like with his medications, but right now he's only on 2 medications and doing his vitamins, and he's succeeding. Like, his reading is getting much better. His writing is getting much better. Like, he's focusing at school. He still has a few moments, but it's nothing like what we're battling.
Yeah, his outbursts have, they go up, but then they come down pretty fast.
Yeah.
Right.
He can rein it back in like 10 minutes. He can usually calm back down and talk to us about what's wrong.
I have one thing to say. Like, we did do a couple things. The doctor had asked us to, early in on, put him on like Pediasure or something like that, because he wasn't eating, he was losing weight because of being on these medications. Yeah,
when he was on like the 4 medications, they wanted him to take ciprofloxacin or something like that.
Yeah, so they put him on a different thing to give him
to make him eat. So we started him on shakes back then. So he's been taking shakes this whole time. Yep. He loves the chocolate shakes. He gets up, makes it himself.
Right.
And he doesn't have to have that hardcore medicine to make him eat.
Yeah, he does all of that on his own.
And the same thing with the sleep strips, because he had to have a medicine for the sleep to go to sleep.
Yep.
So we had to put him on sleep strips too.
He does his sleep strips.
So you went the holistic route than the farmer route.
Yeah, but we did add back in, like, he is getting medication, but we let him have like that 1.5-year break of like nothing, because they say, oh, that medication only will stay in the body for 24 hours. But in reality, like, there really is remnant of like what it's done to you for like quite a while. So him being off just let his body get back to some kind of a regular, like, get back to a base level of some sort.
Right.
And he was home. So I was the one dealing with him, during the school day. His teachers weren't. So it worked out for us. And now we're in a really good space. So we're really grateful that we were able to do that, and that we had these tools at our fingertips to be able to do that.
Yeah, I know how tough that is. I had a 10-year-old go through an elimination diet. 30-day elimination diet. And 2 weeks in, she actually came and thanked us for putting her through that, because she was feeling so much better just through the elimination diet. And then we got her on the customized nutrition shortly after that, because we already had her on nutrition, but it was so expensive, and it was a bunch of bottles. And I'll never forget, I was drinking coffee, looking across the kitchen at the bottles, and they were top shelf vitamins. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's the same lab that produces ours. So, but I know what you went through there, and it's a patience game as a parent.
It is.
So kudos to you guys, because it sounds like you've come through the other side, and and there's hope, and that's that's what I love about what we do, is hope and opportunity.
And it's very frustrating when you're in the middle of it, because you're like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I don't understand. But it's just the body, like like, I know if I don't get my chocolate, so it's just, his body needed something, but it didn't know how to ask for what it needed. So the DNA really helped us to pinpoint the other things that we weren't getting from a regular shelf vitamin, like what additional things we needed to have.
Right. And the nice thing about it goes way beyond just the actual vitamins, as far as like it'll let you know the MTHFR gene mutation, lactose intolerant, caffeine sensitivities. That kind of stuff's important because it all, it all works together in us. And one of the key things is inflammation.
Yes.
Whether it's a kid or an adult, knowing your inflammation sensitivity is huge.
His is very high. Yeah. His is very high.
Yeah, his is high.
Yeah.
He gets that from me.
Yeah. So, well, guys, I really appreciate you taking the time.
Absolutely. We love you.
It's been fun. And so I'm going to stop the recording now. And for those of you that are watching this, definitely share it with somebody that has similar situations here, whether it's just to keep up your immune system or help, kids of all ages kind of get their own owner's manual. That DNA test is for everybody, and it's a one and done. You take it one time, and that's your owner's manual for life. So I'm going to say goodbye to the audience, and
bye.